What's up, David Kidd here. We just went over a mix example using the Vertigo EQ. I'm now just going to give you a little tidbit on how I use the compressor in a mix situation, and here we go. And one thing that I really like about the VSC too is the ratio. The trick to this thing is that it just changes the knee on the VSC2. So when you set your threshold and you change the ratio, it's not compressing more, it's just compressing differently. So you can really get this kind of bounce out of your music. You can get punch, bounce, a little bit of bend out of the music, and a little bit of pump. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I like it, just the groove that it imparts. So we're gonna do the same section. I'll probably take off the tail of the section really quick and loop it just here. And then here we go. VSC2 is out. So I just want to point something out, that sometimes on this particular compressor, I've done things that I don't normally do with some other types of compressors. Sometimes I'll set it to like a pretty high ratio and just use the threshold sparingly, but it just gives it kind of like this interesting bounce and groove, and that's one thing that I really like between these two knobs and how they work. Another thing to point out, that I'm not doing a ton of it, but the makeup gain on this thing, the amplifiers are fantastic. So if you do need to gain something up quite a bit, gain up your mix just with clean gain, it's beautiful for that. I'm just gonna kind of fish around with a couple more settings, see what the attack and release does. The attack settings are pretty standard for like an SSL style compression. Very cool though, can be really grabby. I'm using a slower attack right now, 10 milliseconds is what I'm using. Usually I'm between 10 or 30. It's usually at least my go-to setting. Right now my release is at 0.1. I use that very frequently, especially over a mix. Just want it to release in time, or the auto release feature is really cool too. So we'll just kind of mess around, get some more settings, and kind of set it here. So I got my settings that I like. It just kind of makes the music bounce a little bit, grooves with it. This brings a little shine, brings a little bounce, a little pump, compresses things, kind of focuses the kick, focuses the vocal a little bit. I hear a little more body, beautiful openness. It's not really destroying anything that I've done internally, which is something that I really like, because I end up doing a lot of things in the box and then bringing it to an analog world where it kind of just finishes the job the way I like it to. So I'm going to at least play the segment now without halfway through, without compression settings, and then with, and you can kind of hear what it's doing. That sums up how I like to use them. Shine, body, a little bit of beef, a little bit of groove, a little bit of pump, a little bit of compression, a little bit of focus. beauty all around. Love the stuff.